Alright, so what's the time now? Let me check. The time is 12:25 in the morning, and I literally just came back from the theater from seeing the Batman for the fourth time. So I'm just gonna go over my general thoughts. I'm not gonna go into spoilers or into details like that. I don't wanna spoil the movie for anyone. But yeah, this is my fourth time seeing the movie, and I can say that I really like the movie. It's a very good movie. I watched Spider-Man No Way Home. It was really good, but after the second time, I couldn't stand it. Like, I couldn't go back into the theater. Shang-Chi, after the first time, I couldn't stand it. I'm not gonna stay here and try and hype or hype something I'm not interested in. I'm gonna be very honest here. But with this one, it's been very good. It's been very good so far. But I will say that tonight I left early. I left the theater early because I have stuff to do tomorrow, and I was falling asleep. It was a long day, so. But the movie's a good movie. Gotham feels like its own character. It feels very lived in. It has different characters that are very layered, and they all feel like, or if you feel like they have history, right? Like they have stories behind, things that have happened in the past that we don't see here, that they could make spin-offs for, right? So I don't know if this is a spoiler, but in the beginning of the movie, Bruce was doing a voiceover. He was speaking from his journal, saying how he's just a man and he can't be everywhere, but the criminals don't know where he is. So they show different people in Gotham committing crimes in different parts of the city. There was this kid who was spraying graffiti, and as soon as he saw the bat signal, he got scared. The can fell off his hand and rolled into this dark hallway, and he was so afraid that Batman was hiding in the shadows, about to beat him up, that he couldn't get the can. He had to run away. Another criminal stole from a store. The criminal was about to run, but then as soon as he saw the bat signal, he looked and saw the alleyway that was completely like pitch black. He couldn't walk in. He was afraid. So that was a really good thing. That was awesome to see how Batman used like fear as a tool. So that was really good. Now let me say, for Catwoman, I just have random thoughts about this. Catwoman, Zoe Kravitz, I think she was really good in the role. I don't really have much knowledge on the previous Catwoman that DC has offered. I know Halle Berry had a Catwoman movie. I watched it when I was a kid. At that time, I didn't really understand. I wasn't very critical towards movies, so I think I enjoyed the movie. I can't remember what happened there, but people like ridicule that movie a lot. I don't know why, but yeah, Zoe Kravitz was very good. She wasn't necessarily a hero. She had similar interests with Batman, and she worked accordingly, and she actually ended up helping him in certain situations, which was really good. I like the fact that in this movie they didn't try to one-up Catwoman and make her look, superior to Batman, because a lot of movies do that nowadays. You see a female character who run up to a group of men, 300-pound men, and beat them up. It's just not realistic. But in this movie, she had a skill, she could fight, but it was done in a realistic way. It wasn't absurd. If I didn't know that Colin Farrell was acting as the Penguin, it wouldn't come to my mind. He looks nothing like Colin Farrell, sounds nothing like Colin Farrell. I remember Jeremy Jahns, when I watched his review of the movie, he said that he could hear Colin Farrell in there. Personally, shout out to Jeremy, but I couldn't hear Colin in there. But yeah, it was a very good portrayal, and apparently they're gonna make a HBO series on him. So I'm excited to see what that looks like. He was very charismatic. He was kind of like Scarface, this kind of mobster character. It was really cool, and he was very funny in the movie as well. Whenever I'm looking at this around, I'm just looking at my notes just to make sure I don't stray off. Carmine Falcone, I don't know the actor's name, forgive me, but shout out to him. What can I say about him? I liked him. I think he was very menacing. He didn't have to do too much. He was very like, I'm the big G, like I'm the boss here. He didn't have to talk too much. You could tell from his demeanor, and you could tell from his demeanor that he was in charge, right? He didn't have to shout. He didn't have to be the most intimidating person physically, but you could tell that he was in control of the room. So that was pretty good. He was pretty menacing in there. Let me see, Batman Robert Pattinson. I would say that this guy did a very, very good job with the role. People like to mock him from like his Twilight days. But yeah, besides Twilight, like every other thing that he has done has been really good. You know, in Tenet and other movies that he's done, he's been very good. In this movie, he was very, very good. People say, because I've watched a lot of reviews, some people are saying that Batman and Bruce are the same character, like because in this movie you don't really get like the Batman playboy type of scenario where you have Batman and then you have Bruce as two different people. Here they're very, very similar, and it's a bit realistic. It's a different take, but it's very realistic because it's like this guy's a broken dude. Like, yeah, he's just a broken dude. It's extremely realistic, and I think they might explore him developing the mask of Bruce Wayne in sequels. But for right now, I didn't mind the fact that he was still a bit, you know, he had anxiety and he wasn't as socially calibrated as the typical Bruce Wayne would be. But yeah, I enjoyed him as Batman. He was a very, very good Batman, and we have a lot of Batman in this movie. We don't have much Bruce Wayne, but we have a lot of Batman in this movie, and it was really, really good. Jeffrey Wright as Gordon was wonderful. When I saw him in the trailers and I heard that he was playing Gordon, I mean, I didn't mind that they changed the race. They race swapped the character, but I mean, you can see Gordon in him. Like, you can literally see Gordon on Jeffrey Wright's face. Like, it's him. And as soon as you get into the movie, you realize that yes, this is Gordon, right? He was a very good supporting character. He didn't necessarily have his own arc in the movie, but he was Batman's partner. It was like this kind of buddy cop situation, and he was very good. He has some funny moments with Batman in the movie that I'm sure you guys are gonna enjoy, but I don't want to spoil for you guys. What else? We have Alfred. Forgive me, I've forgotten the actor's name, but he was really good. He didn't get as much screen time as Alfreds usually get in Batman movies, but it was, what we got was good. It was good enough. I can't really complain. I'm sure in the sequels, or I hope at least, that they're gonna explore the relationship between Alfred and Bruce, because Alfred is the character who really brings him down to humanity, because Bruce is so detached. Like, you know, he's so broken that he's so detached from humanity. When he puts on the mask, he's a different person. It's almost like he's a monster from a horror movie. It's crazy how they do it. It's really good. A shout out to Matt Reeves, by the way. This was a very, very good movie. I didn't want to give myself high expectations for this movie. I just went in there with low expectations and my mind was blown. I didn't really want to look at people's reviews or opinions before I went to see the movie, because I didn't want that to shape my perception, you know, by the time I was in the theater. So yeah, I'll say the movie was extremely good, and I can't wait for the sequels, and I can't wait for what they do next. Now, does that mean I don't like the DCU? No, it doesn't. I actually want to see what they do with the DCU, but this Batman, well, this franchise that they're making for Robert Pattinson is pretty good as well. It feels extremely lived in, and I just want to see more of it. Alright guys, so this is the end of my review. Feel free to give me a like if you haven't. Feel free to subscribe to the channel as well. And I'll see you guys next week. Peace.